Morning all. Well, this morning we're on a bit of a venture and it might just be a scouting trip, who knows, but guess who I got with me?
It's already hot.
The only thing we know for sure
Is that it's hot.
It's hot and we're heading up. So hopefully we'll get to where we want to go. If not, we're still forming plan B. Temperature is good, but the road's not so good, so we're off to plan B. Problem is, we're not sure what it is yet. We're still formulating it. Looks like plan B is a no-go. We're on the plan C. Well, looks like the water's a bit high, so it's as far as we can go on this one. So I'm thinking we might go back a little bit to a spot, do a little work there, or we might move on to plan D. Well, now all we got to worry about, looks like snow's not going to be an issue, so now all we got to worry about is down trees. We haven't decided yet if we're going to hike down to the creek. It's a bit of a hike and the creek looks awfully high. I'm going to do it, but I'm just taking the pan and a crevice tool. I'm going to hike down there. I know water's way too high, but I got to look. I don't know about this. Made it down. I had to move up the creek quite a ways because the water's so high, there's no place to pan. Well, I got a little tiny area that we got some bedrock. Now this is, way out of the water normally, so we'll give it a go, do a pan, see if we can find. Well, I found a couple of spots here, got a little bit of gravel, but I don't have a whole lot of hope on this. Got a little crack here. Got a little bit of gravel in it. Then over here, we got another one right down in here. It's got a little bit of gravel. Okay, well, we're gonna dig those out, see if we can find some gold. Well, we got that cleaned out, and that's all we ended up with. Okay, gonna pan it out, see if we got anything. We got gold. Well, there it is, our one big piece of gold. Okay, well, I don't know if I can make it back up the hill packing all this gold, but I think I'm heading back up the hill. Believe it or not, I made it back to the Jeep with all that gold. Okay, well, it's way past lunchtime, so gonna have lunch, and then we're gonna move on to plan. I don't know where we are, but we're gonna move on to another plan. Well, it looks like this is as far as we're gonna go. But one thing I was looking at was look at this road. This road has been paved with the gravel out of an old tailings pit. What I'm liking is there's a lot of heavier rocks in here with this quartz gravel, and if you look overall, there's a fair amount of darker rocks in with it. Since I've already got gold, I'm not too worried about it. So I thought, well, maybe we'll stop here, give Jeff a chance to do a little detecting, and maybe get caught up.
I haven't even turned my detector on today.
And whose fault's that? Okay, we just got a target here, and looks like he might have dug too quick. I'm thinking he's just making up targets instead of actually finding stuff. Uh-oh, he found it. Sounds pretty iron to me. I don't know how well it's showing it, but right there we have rust. Not a good sign. Just hoping for a rusty piece of gold. Oh, I see it.
Is it?
Is that it?
Oh.
Piece of wire. We're batting even now on the wire. You know, being that it's really hard to keep track of where you are on the road, what I'm doing is I put a kick mark here. I got one over there. Then I went up like 10 feet and I got one there, one by my metal detector. So basically, I'm just going to work this square out. That way Jeff and I can kind of leapfrog each other, and we're not detecting over the same spot or missing spots. Now, so far, I've had one target, and it turned out to be a small piece of wire. Well, I got another target, real light target. But just as a side note, I brought my big camera with me today, but I'm shooting on the GoPro because I took my tripod out when I got back from Nevada to clean the Jeep out, and I forgot to put it back in. And so, no tripod for the big camera, so we're stuck with the GoPro today.
Look at that. Talented. He can run a metal detector and film at the same time.
Now, I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a real light target right there. Pull just the surface off. I'm seeing rust spots all over the place. Well, it turned out to be a little steel BB. Well, that puts me ahead of Jeff again because he doesn't have any BBs.
I don't have any BBs.
Okay, back to detecting. I detected everything in my between my two marks, so we're going to jump up, make another mark like 4 foot ahead, and work the next section since Jeff hasn't got up to this point yet, so we're going to jump into his section. Well, just working on a target here. He thinks he's going to get ahead of me on wire, but little does he know, I'm up to 5 pieces. Yeah, I heard that too.
You heard that?
Yeah. It's probably only a bear. Well, back to detecting. Well, I detected that flow line all the way back up to where I stopped because I was out in the sun, and way down at the bottom in that gully, I found this little chunk of iron, and that's been it. I haven't had another target all the way back up. We decided we're done finding pieces of wire. We're out of here. Well, I had one more target, and I was going to dig it before we left. It turned out to be this nice long piece of wire. Well, I still had a target in the hole. Well, I dug up the next target, which we knew was going to be wire, and it's a piece of gold. Let me show you.
It's not wire.
I don't know how well that's showing it. Not real big, but it's a chunky little piece. Is we're going to find us another chunk of road that has the same gravel and a little more shade. Well, I've detected all the way down there, around the corner there, and let me show you what I found. Lots and lots of little pieces of wire. I'm thinking when they worked on this road, they had an old cable leg cat, because we're finding a lot of pieces of wire. Well, Jeff's over here. He's working at a gully over there in the shade. Let's go see if he's finding anything. Well, looks like he's working the gut of the river here.
What is this? This clay?
Yeah, it looks like clay. Good old packed red dirt. And Jeff's giving me a run for my money on the pieces of wire. Well, I decided to take a nap, and while I was taking a nap, Jeff, after he found a whole bunch of wire, picked up a piece of gold. Let me show you the piece. Not a monster, but it's a nice little round piece, and it's gold. Well, I think we're getting dangerously close to, let's see if the store's open and if they got ice cream time.
I like that idea.
We'll see you back at the house. Made it back to the house, and yes, it is the next day. Well, we got that one piece of gold all cleaned up. What do you say we jump over and see what it weighs? Okay, well, here's our one piece, and that comes in at 0.30. Well, the fact that we both came home with gold, I thought was pretty cool, because that was, you know, pretty much just a scouting trip, and we found out a lot of info. Number one, the rivers are still high, but the snow is melting fast. I'm guessing we got a couple of weeks, 3 at the most, and we're gonna pretty much be able to get to any of the high gold fields. You know, there's gonna be some of them that are on the shady side of the hill that, you know, gonna be a little longer, but I'm guessing a pretty good percentage, they'll be open and ready to go. Okay, well, that's pretty much all I got on this one. So I'm out of here. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.